We live in a world where trends change faster than our planet can keep up. Conscious Choices confronts the rising culture of overconsumption by inspiring Davaoenos to rethink their habits and choose sustainably, proving that small choices can spark big change. Good day, everyone. We are the Group 1, and this is our social marketing campaign.
Imagine a world where marketing does more than just sell products. It inspires people to make choices that improve their health, their communities, and the planet. This is what social marketing is all about. It's a powerful strategy that blends psychology, communication, and policy to motivate voluntary behavior changes that benefit us all. Unlike traditional marketing that focuses on profit, social marketing targets big challenges like environmental damage caused by consumerism. As we face urgent issues like climate change and waste overload, this approach becomes not just relevant, but essential for shaping a sustainable future. The challenge we address is the culture of consumerism, particularly among young adults in Davao City. The explosion of online shopping and influencer-driven trends fuels impulsive purchases, resulting in increased waste and financial stress. Our team, Conscious Choices, 5 marketing students from Ateneo de Davao University, has crafted a comprehensive campaign to tackle this. Through education, engaging events, and partnerships with local eco-friendly organizations, we empower young consumers to rethink their buying habits and adopt sustainable, mindful consumption. The goal? To inspire lasting change that benefits both our environment and our wallets.
Impulsive consumer behavior is rising as e-commerce and social media make shopping fast and convenient, especially among young adults aged 18 to 28. This overconsumption harms the environment, generates waste, and causes financial strain. Driven by advertising, social pressure, and a desire for novelty, many young consumers spend impulsively without considering affordability, while trends like fast fashion and haul culture further normalize overbuying. Our campaign encourages this age group to adopt mindful and sustainable consumption habits. So, given with the background, the purpose then of this campaign is to promote conscious consumption among young adults in Davao City by raising awareness of negative effects of consumerism and encouraging mindful, sustainable purchasing habits. To support its goal of reducing unsustainable consumerism in Davao City, the Conscious Choices campaign focuses on 4 key areas. First, community impact encourages donating excess goods like clothes to local organizations and families, promoting shared responsibility and compassion. Second, education awareness involves brochures and seminars on sustainability and responsible spending, while emphasizing financial autonomy and reducing impulsive buying. Third is empowerment through action, provides accessible, low-cost ways for youth to practice sustainability such as thrifting, donating, and reusing clothes. Finally, the digital engagement and social media presence strengthens online reach through interactive, educational content that helps youth reflect on emotional versus practical purchases. Moving on to the situational analysis, specifically on organizational factors, the Conscious Choices campaign is a youth-led initiative promoting mindful consumption among Davaoenos. It uses a strong social media presence, relatable messaging, and community-driven strategies to engage Gen Z. The team is resourceful and collaborative, forming local partnerships to maximize impact. While funding and manpower are limited, the campaign's flexible, low-cost, community-based approach ensures authentic and effective implementation. For the environmental forces, Davao City provides a supportive environment for promoting mindful consumption, strong local policies, and community program foster sustainability, while advances in digital communication and social media allow youth-focused outreach, though offline activities remain important for inclusivity. Culturally, eco-conscious values are growing, but consumerist norms still influence the behavior. Socioeconomic factors like affordability and digital access shape how the campaign reaches diverse audiences, highlighting the need for cost-effective, relatable, and multi-channel strategies. Past and similar efforts on sustainable consumption show how international, national, and local initiatives promote mindful buying through education, community engagement, and circular fashion practices. For the international initiative, this is the Sustainable Fashion Week 2025, which promotes circular fashion through repairing, reusing, and secondhand clothing. It raises global awareness about fast fashion's environmental impact using community activities and media influence, though cultural differences and event-based momentum limit long-term adoption. For the national initiative, we have DTI Sustainable Consumption Campaign, which encourages responsible spending and supports local eco-friendly brands through social media and seminars. It educates consumers, reaches a wide audience, but limited access, higher prices, and competition from cheap imports pose challenges. And lastly, for the local initiative, which is the Mental Youth's Kabataan para sa Kalikasan. So this initiative uses clothing swaps, upcycling, and community activities to teach sustainable habits. Its youth-led, low-cost approach builds trust and cultural relevance, though limited funding and reliance on volunteers restrict broader reach. This is the SWOT analysis of our campaign Conscious Choices. So the campaign leverages social media and community-based activities to engage Davao youths in mindful consumption. Its strengths include low-cost, locally relevant initiatives and strong partnership potential, while weaknesses lie in limited funding, manpower, and sustainable long-term behavior change. Opportunities exist in rising environmental awareness, influencer collaborations, and interactive community events, but the threats, such as consumerist trends, resistance to behavior change, and oversaturation of content, must be navigated carefully to maintain impact. Building from the past initiatives mentioned, the Conscious Choices campaign leverages lessons from past international, national, and local initiatives to strengthen sustainable consumption in Davao City. It uses youth-led, locally relevant engagement to ensure reliability and combines digital strategies with community-based, low-cost activities for broader reach. By scaling interactive events, forming partnerships, and amplifying messages on social media, the campaign addresses gaps in accessibility, sustained engagement, and inclusivity, promoting long-term mindful consumption and environmental responsibility among Davao's youth.
Our primary audience is young adults aged 18 to 28 in Davao City, students and early career professionals who live digital, fast-paced lives. They are deeply involved with social media and influencer culture, shaping their buying habits. While they appreciate style and peer approval, many are caught in a pattern of impulsive purchasing, overwhelmed by quick trends and sales. Despite some awareness of sustainability, convenience often wins. Our campaign aims to guide this tech-savvy and socially conscious generation toward thoughtful spending, promoting thrift shopping, and support for eco-friendly options. The secondary audience significantly influences the beliefs and behaviors of our primary target. Parents and families establish early financial values, emphasizing responsible spending and waste reduction. Educators in Davao City integrate sustainability into their lessons, encouraging eco-friendly habits. Policymakers and agencies like Senro create the regulatory environment to support sustainable behavior. Social media influencers and peers act as trendsetters, amplifying mindful consumption through authentic messaging. Together, they form a vital support network that reinforces lasting behavior change.
We now move on to our objectives and goals. So firstly, we go over our behavioral objectives. So our campaign aims to encourage young adults in Davao City to actively reflect on their buying habits and reduce impulsive purchases by 20% within 6 months. We also want to promote intentional decision making, helping consumers distinguish needs from wants through activities like the Thrift Forward donation drive and the Trash Talk seminar. Another key target is increasing engagement in sustainable events, such as the thrift fairs, cycling workshops, and clothing swaps, by at least 35% during the campaign. Finally, we want to encourage the habit of supporting eco-friendly and local brands, while also minimizing waste through recycling and reuse. Next, we move on to the knowledge objectives. Our goal is to raise awareness among 70% of our target audience about the financial and environmental impacts of overconsumption. We aim to educate participants on what mindful consumption is and how it helps reduce waste while promoting sustainability. We also want at least 60% of participants to become familiar with local sustainable options such as thrift shops, eco-brands, and waste reduction programs available in Davao. And finally, we want to promote financial awareness by teaching young consumers how to track expenses and differentiate needs from wants. Next is belief objectives. So this focuses on the attitudes we want to strengthen. We want young consumers to believe that mindful consumption leads to personal freedom, satisfaction, and financial stability. We also want to reinforce the idea that sustainability is not a burden. It's empowering, practical, and beneficial to the entire community. And lastly, we aim to build the belief that small individual actions like reducing waste and reusing items create meaningful collective impact. So we now proceed to our measurable goals. So the campaign aims to officially launch citywide and engage young adults across Davao City in practicing mindful consumption for at least 30 days. We plan to engage at least 350 young adults through booths, online promotions, and participation in activities such as the donation drive, Trash Talk seminar, and the Swap and Style event. So within the first month, we aim to form 3 partnerships with student groups or local eco-organizations. And finally, we'll collect feedback from at least 100 young adults through a post-campaign survey to measure awareness and behavioral change. So moving on, our campaign strongly aligns with a wider community and national goals. First, it supports the SDG 12, responsible consumption and production, by reducing waste, encouraging reuse, and promoting mindful consumption habits. It also aligns with Davao City's environmental management initiatives and the Ecological Solid Waste Management Ordinance, which emphasize waste segregation, recycling, and community participation. At the national level, the campaign supports programs by the Department of Trade and Industry and the DENR, which promote responsible purchasing and sustainability. Overall, Conscious Choices helps create healthier living environments, improves financial well-being, and strengthens long-term sustainable development. So for our barriers, before we implemented our strategies, we identified several barriers. First, many young adults see donating or reusing clothes as inconvenient or time-consuming. Second, there is still that stigma that secondhand items are of lower value, which discourages thrifting. Third is emotional attachment to personal belongings. This often prevents decluttering or reuse. And lastly is peer pressure and the fear of missing out, especially fueled by online trends, which pushes young adults towards overconsumption and constant buying. Moving on to the benefits. On the positive side, adopting mindful consumption brings several benefits. It helps individuals declutter and simplify their spaces, reducing stress and improving mental clarity. It also gives them more financial control by minimizing unnecessary expenses. So, mindful consumption supports environmental sustainability and social welfare by reducing waste and encouraging donation. And finally, it empowers individuals because taking part in sustainable community initiatives creates a sense of fulfillment and purpose. We now move on to the competition. So our campaign also faces strong competition. Fast fashion brands continue to promote low-cost, trend-based shopping, making frequent buying feel normal and affordable. Influencers online often glamorize constant shopping and materialism. E-commerce flash sales and targeted ads encourage impulsive buying. And for many people, shopping has become a way to cope with stress or reward themselves, making it emotionally reinforcing. For our positioning statement, we focused on what makes conscious choices unique and meaningful to young consumers in Davao. So, conscious choices empowers young Davaoeños to save money, reduce clutter, and live sustainably through thrift-driven habits and community-centered activities.
So moving on with our marketing strategies, let's start first with the product. So for our core product, we focus on promoting mindful and responsible consumer behavior for both personal and environmental well-being. So for our first core product, Core A, is all about empowerment, helping the youth make conscious choices that save money, reduce waste, and encourage personal responsibility. The second, Core B, highlights the emotional benefits of mindful consumption, like living with purpose, resisting impulse buying, and gaining self-awareness and confidence. So moving on to our actual products. We first have the Thrift Forward donation drive, which encourages young adults to donate pre-loved clothes to a chosen beneficiary. The booth is designed with eco-friendly materials, and volunteers sort and deliver the donations, promoting sustainability and community support. For our next product, we have Trash Talk, the Price of Impulse, an educational seminar that explores how impulsive buying affects finances and the environment. Through short lectures, interactive discussions, and reflection activities, participants learn smart saving habits and responsible consumption. We also have the Conscious Choices brochure, a visually appealing guide that introduces mindful consumption in a simple way and encourages reflection on everyday purchasing decisions. Another key initiative is Swap and Style, a sustainable fashion event where youth exchange pre-loved clothes. Participants can restyle and even model their looks on a mini runway, promoting creativity, community engagement, and textile waste reduction. Finally, our Conscious Choices social media page engages Davao City youth on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. It features the biology series and interactive quizzes like Buy or Buy to educate, encourage reflection, and create a community around sustainable habits. Next, our augmented product adds extra support and motivation for participants. Incentives and rewards like EcoStore vouchers encourage active participation and foster collaboration with local sustainable businesses. Certificates and digital badges recognize efforts, remind participants of their growth, and inspire others when shared online. The online resource hub lists thrift shops, eco-brands, and repair services, helping participants maintain sustainable habits beyond the campaign. So next we have price. The first is increased monetary benefits. We offer discounts and vouchers to show mindful consumption, saves money, and reward participation to reinforce cost-saving habits. Next is increased non-monetary benefits, where participants earn badges and certificates, building pride, empowerment, and a connection to sustainability. Next we have decreased monetary costs, which involves all events and tools which are free, with partners providing affordable, sustainable alternatives. Next, we have decreased non-monetary costs, which involves easy registration, mobile-friendly materials, and accessible venues that make participation convenient. Next, we have increased monetary costs of competing behavior, where we show the hidden financial risks of impulsive buying to build awareness of long-term consequences. Lastly, we have the increased non-monetary costs of competing behavior, where we highlight the harm of overconsumption, linking unsustainable habits to regret and guilt to encourage reflection. Next, we have Place. At Ateneo de Davao and nearby cafes, youth get involved through events and promoting sustainable fashion and donation drives. Online, webinars, and social media offer easy access to learning and community updates. Brochures provide clear visual reminders of sustainability lessons, and daily social media nudges encourage mindful buying habits. Donations, merchandise, and digital tools support ongoing sustainable lifestyles. So now on to our promotion. Social media shares education, updates, and quizzes, while campus boards promote events. Zoom hosts remote seminars, and this multi-channel strategy ensures strong online and offline presence. Engagement grows through challenges like buy or buy and thrift flips, with rewards such as badges and tokens. Collaborations with campus groups and eco stores widen reach. And webinars and booths offer learning support as peer roles models highlight sustainable fashion as trendy and inspiring. So lastly, for our promotions, you can see here the brochure that we made, as well as the tote bag design and the badges design. So these help reinforce brand and sustainability. So for our monitoring and evaluation plan, the evaluation measures the campaign's impact on habits, awareness, and spending, and offers insights for future improvements. It targets campaign organizers, faculty, and the marketing department with support from student groups and external partners. Techniques include surveys, event observations, focus groups, and social media analytics. The measurements happen before, during, and after the campaign, using surveys and data analysis to guide stakeholders. The total evaluation budget is 2,000 pesos, covering printing materials, online survey tools, and photo documentation of events. This budget supports collecting both quantitative and qualitative data.
Let's move on with the comprehensive budget. The total budget of 61,600 pesos balances affordability and impact to effectively support the Conscious Choices campaign. Most funds, like the 28,000 pesos, are allocated to product-related costs, covering essential materials for core events like the donation drive, seminar, and brochure printing, emphasizing eco-friendly setups. Price-related expenses of 8,000 pesos include certificates, tote bags, badges, and volunteer tokens, while 10,000 pesos covers venue costs, often supported by partners. Promotion expenses of 4,500 fund brochures, posters, and online ads, targeting a digitally active audience. Seminar costs of 3,500 pesos cover speakers and refreshments. Evaluation and documentation receive 2,000 pesos to measure impact, and a 5,000 pesos contingency fund ensures flexibility for unforeseen expenses. Next, regarding funding, we plan to utilize a mix of internal and external sources. Internal funding will come from community support and local partnerships, fostering strong grassroots involvement. For external funding, we will seek support from key environmental agencies such as Senro and DENR, alongside environmental and youth grants and sponsorships from eco-conscious businesses. This funding mix aims to expand our reach, provide financial backing, and leverage expert support to maximize impact. Moving on to the implementation plan, the campaign timeline is divided into 3 distinct phases: pre-launch, launch, and maintenance, each with specific activities and deadlines to ensure smooth progress and coordination. The pre-launch phase, scheduled from January to February 2026, focuses on detailed planning, partnership building, material preparation, and promotional groundwork to build early awareness. The launch phase, running from March to May 2026, includes core activities such as the donation drive, trash talk seminar, and thrift event, all designed to engage the community and encourage mindful consumption behaviors. The final maintenance phase in June 2026 prioritizes sustained engagement through follow-up online campaigns, impact monitoring, data collection, and comprehensive reporting to evaluate the campaign's effectiveness. Throughout the campaign, regular online updates via the hashtag #ThriftForward will reinforce community involvement and maintain momentum. In addition, a clearly defined responsibilities matrix assigns specific roles to core and supporting teams, ensuring accountability for every task and facilitating smooth execution at each stage. This structured approach supports time delivery, effective communication, and a cohesive effort toward achieving the campaign's objectives. In conclusion, our campaign demonstrates how small, practical actions can inspire meaningful change in the way people consume. Throughout the project, we focused on promoting mindful purchasing, responsible financial habits, and the use of thrifted clothing as accessible steps toward more sustainable living. The activities we implemented, from donation drives and seminars to the swap and style event, provided our audience with concrete opportunities to practice conscious consumption in their daily lives. One of the major insights we gained is the importance of providing people with simple and accessible tools. Resources such as thrift maps, spending trackers, and awareness sessions help participants understand not only how to reduce waste, but also how to make smarter and more intentional financial decisions. We also learned that strong community partnerships and consistent engagement, both online and on ground, are essential to sustaining interest and encouraging lasting behavioral change. Ultimately, the campaign contributes to sustainable social transformation by making eco-friendly habits more familiar, relatable, and achievable for the community. By normalizing practices like reuse, budgeting, and thoughtful purchasing, we help reduce environmental pressure while supporting individual well-being. Through this initiative, we hope to continue empowering students and community members to make choices that are both financially responsible and environmentally conscious, reinforcing that sustainability begins with everyday decisions.